That's temporarily to chair the meeting. Is that okay with the rest of the?
Thank you.
I'll make a motion.
Do I second it?
Aye.
Okay, approving previous minutes, do we have previous minutes?
Make a
Yep.
motion to accept it.
Motion.
Second.
Second, motion's made and second on the previous minutes. If there's no corrections, then it stands. Number one, Karen Business authorizing an agreement with Equidoc Inc. regarding non-residential domestic violence services. Commissioner, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay.
We're requesting permission to re-enter into a contract with Equinox Domestic Violence Services for their non-residential domestic violence
here he is.
program.
Excuse us.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Item
continue.
one. Item one.
Okay.
We're on item one, Sam. Incidentally, they fired you and they put me in this.
Okay, I'm sorry about being a few minutes late.
We're- oh.
Senior Commissioner.
Yes, so this is a $165,000 contract, 100% federal reimbursement. It's for the domestic violence hotline, information referral, assessment, referral to domestic violence shelter if needed, walk-in assistance, and then there's an additional grant for intensive case management for 25 individuals who need a little bit extra care and hand-holding and work to get to self-sufficiency.
Motion.
Motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Pass unanimous. Okay, number 2 on the agenda, authorizing agreement between the Departments of Social Services and Mental Health regarding services for Safety Net and TANF applicants and recipients.
Yes, we're requesting approval to renew a memorandum of understanding between Albany County Department of Mental Health and Social Services for their CMU, Central Management Unit services, which provide assessment and referral for our DSS clients and applicants who have possible substance abuse issues. They have 3 CASACs on staff that assess individuals' potential for substance abuse treatment. They develop treatment plans and help people get into recovery if needed. This is a $329,000 MOU, and it's 80% county, 20% federal.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the committee? Hearing none, motion to approve.
Okay.
Mr. Clay, second. Mr. Camitso, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Pass unanimous. Thank you. Okay, number 3 on the agenda, authorizing agreement with various Albany County municipalities for the provision of Youth Bureau services.
Yes,
Commissioner Gagan.
good evening, everyone. The department requests legislative authorization to enter into contracts for the provision of services under the Youth Bureau contracts, the youth development programs. This is funding that is received annually through the Office of Children and Family Services, and it's comprised of 2 components. There is the youth development programs, which is really about providing funding to local municipalities as well as specific organizations to promote youth development programs. Of that funding, the other component is for the Runaway and Homeless Youth Program, RIA, which is to support programs that address homelessness emergency shelter needs, as well as our transitional living program. So the specific funding request for this RLA is in regards to the municipalities within Albany County. These are amounts that were predetermined through OCFS when, prior to 2014, they actually had the process of the claiming to the municipalities. About 2014, they passed that responsibility on to the local districts, the counties, but the funding algorithm that was already in place in regards to the funding levels for municipalities remained the same. So that is what you're seeing there in terms of the allocation amounts for each of the municipalities.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you know how the algorithm works? Because I can see it's not based on population. As Town of Colony has more than the City of Albany, and Cohoes has almost, 75% about what the City of Albany has, even though the population's maybe a quarter. So do you know how?
I don't have that information, but if it's something.
So, putting on my hat from back in my days up the hill, a lot of this has to do with maintenance of effort. So when the analysis is done, it's kind of like what was consumed the year before carries over, if that makes any sense. So if there was a big ask before, they kind of have a tendency to continue that aid, if that makes any sense.
So are the municipalities are they going to the state and saying, we need this much, and the state's?
I don't know how the
Determination.
communication works.
Okay.
That is information in terms of the specific algorithm that had been historically established. I can certainly get that information for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're
That
welcome.
would be great. Are there any questions from the committee? Okay, hearing none, motion approved. Mr. Camiso, second Mr. Clay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Pass unanimous. Okay. Number 4 on the agenda, authorizing an agreement with Cornell Cooperative Extension for the provision of Youth Bureau services.
Yes, so this is interrelated with the Youth Bureau funding because Cornell Cooperative Extension is considered a quasi-municipality. We are bringing this request as well of the funding for the Youth Bureau that we've been allocated. They are proposed to receive $4,000 to continue to support the programming that they provide, which is actually throughout Albany County. They provide programs within the Ravenna-Queens-Selkirk area, the Bern-Knox-Westerlo, Ward of Elite, Cohoes, as well as within the city of Albany. It's geared towards environmental programs, including urban 4-H, as well as gardening, and they're also expanding into STEM programs as well.
Good, thank you. Are there any questions from the committee? Hearing none, motion approved. Mr. Clay, second. Mr. Cal, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Pass unanimous. Okay, motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? No, meeting is adjourned.